Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining Magic Maze. Now, I'm just going to explain Magic Maze using scenario number 2. The reason I'm not using scenario number 1 is I find that very dull and boring. It could be useful for the first play, but generally 2 is manageable for everyone who comes across it. Scenario number 1 means all 4 guys escaping through the same exit. Scenario number 2 has all 4 guys escaping through different exits, and their own ones at that, which I find far more interesting. What is Magic Maze about? The idea of Magic Maze is that no one is allowed to talk. You're stuck with the sound timer. When the sound timer runs out, you're out of time. However, there are markings such as this hidden around the shop, which is this pile of cards. When one of your guys moves onto that, you'll add one of these markers to show that it's been used, and then you can flip the timer over. So you obviously won't use that time till it's down really low, and then you'll go there, put the marker on, you can turn it over. Once you turn that over, you're allowed to talk. Oh, that's right, I didn't mention, you're not allowed to talk through this game. So this is an absolutely silent game, with the only way of really getting anyone's attention to do something to be put this in front of them. So say I'm this player, I want that player to move someone that direction, I can put that in front of them, and then I can stare at them. That's all. I'm not allowed to communicate why I have put that in front of them. It just means do something. I'm not allowed to talk. I'm not allowed to anything other than put that in front of them. When this gets turned over, however, you're allowed to talk until someone moves one of those guys. What are we trying to do in our allotted time? We are trying to get the appropriate coloured guy to the appropriate coloured shop. So orange needs to get to this shop. How are we going to do that? By moving to each of the exits. Each of the exits has a colour to it. So this is the yellow exit, so I need to move this guy down to the yellow exit. Once he's moved to the yellow exit, the next card comes out. You'll notice each card that comes out has a little arrow on it. That arrow is what is coming out of the space where the adventurer comes from. Once that's been placed, they can then continue to move through, or say this person can move this one out of the way so that potentially purple could get through to this exit, because that's the only one to open up. Everything else is a closed spot. However, there is an orange shop there, so orange is eventually going to need to get there. So that's how to get him to his shop. Orange will move down, around, and there. The other thing you'll notice is this marking. So what this is saying is that this player can move any player to a vortex. So a green can move from anywhere to that vortex if he wishes. Orange can be moved to that vortex. Yellow can be moved to that vortex. Suddenly, purple has a way through. He can open up his next room, which will be that one, for example, and then can be continued to move further forward. Another timer has been opened up in opening up that extra room. By opening up the extra rooms, that's the only way for you to discover where each of the places is to go to, and also their exits. Once all of the 4 players are in their shops, this will need to be turned over. You'll also notice we can turn over the direction that each person can move, because that person can move. Notice there is now a cross over the shop, which means that we can no longer use the vortexes. So you can only use the vortexes for the first half of the game. Once that's been turned over, you're then rushing to get everyone to their own exits, which I showed you earlier for each of them at a different colour. You'll notice that the shop has the corner of the card in the colour that you're trying to get into that shop. The card that has the exit on it is coloured all over that card in order for it to be easy to find. Each person's little blue marker tells them which direction they can move pawns. They can move all the pawns, and yes, everyone will move at the same time. So this player can, at the beginning of the game, can vortex the players. Any of the 4 pawns can move away from himself or to the right. Notice I've got north and north facing all the same direction. And this player can move up and down escalators, can move towards him or to the left, and can open up new playing areas like I've already done here. That in essence is the game. So go on and watch my gameplay run through. I'll play it as a 1 player because I am only 1 player, and I'll really quickly go through the 1 player variation on the rules when I do start that. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you wish to be Gamesplaned, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to see what games I've been playing, and subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.